Hello guys, welcome back to my XPS guide. Now I'm gonna review Elric brothers, so let's start from their stats. So I must say that their stats is amazing, especially on the attack stats, but yes, their health, defense, and spirit are kinda mediocre, only 40%, but that's okay. And another thing I like about them is they are flexible. They can become true double hand or true dual wield character. But again, if you make them into true double hand, remember that they don't get plus 100% chain modifier cap like other true double hand. Okay, and yes, what they get is increased chain modifier for normal chain. So from what I know, this only make you reach your cap faster, so it's good, but I'm not sure whether it's gonna work for, let's say, elemental chain, because it says normal chain. So if you know, please leave it on the comment. Okay, but overall it's pretty nice. They have that fatal damage protection, so I got nothing to complain. And for the normal form, they have more killers, but it is less than the brave shift form. On normal they get 100% demon, human, and stone, but on brave shift they only have demon killer, but it is 200%. But in my opinion, this is really fatal because his most damage come from brave shift form. So that means on brave shift form he is only good in quote against demon. Okay, against other type you really need to spam that killer's equipment on him. Okay, so that's all for the stats. Let's take a look on their normal form. So on normal form, he is a chainer and support. Okay, he can use tech chain, but yes, the damage only 80 times. I know it is better than other tech chainer, but if you compare it to his Stardust Ray chain, I think you want to use this one instead. Okay, unless you really run out of slot on your party. Okay, so for the Stardust Ray chain on normal form, all of his chain lock to earth element. Okay, it is good and bad at the same time, but it's good because if you really need other element beside earth, you can simply change into brave shift form. So it's not a big deal in my opinion. And this Stardust Ray chain also imperil 130% earth element. Okay, so it's above the usual 120%. So yes, this is meta number. And the thing I like about this form is he can support your party quite nice if you need extra defense, because he gives you 150% defense. This is gonna be useful when you fight like Asura, okay, because yes, you really need to have that extra defense. So very nice. Melee also able to give you defense and spirit area effect, but yes, only 100%. I know it's better on general situation, but this one is also good. Okay, so don't forget this. And for Granny's ability, you can only use it 3 times, but hear me out. This Granny's ability is pretty nice, okay? First, it gives you 50% earth damage. Okay, so because of this Grandis, his best element is earth element. Sure, you will see later that he able to use other elements, but yeah, you don't have 50% damage boost. Okay, and this 300% attack and magic boost gonna useful on, let's say, dark vision for other characters if you need to do something like fast setup. And yes, but yeah, the good thing is this one unlock your skill Get Up You Novice. The special thing about this skill is once you use this Grandis, Get Up You Novice will be available for entire battle, unless of course you die. Okay, so if you don't need that earth physical damage boost, then yes, you don't need to use this Grandis ability anymore. Okay, because this skill you can use it anytime you want. This skill is really important because it gives you 200% limit burst damage buff to himself. But again, this limit burst damage buff lasts for 5 turns, so you don't need to use it that often. But again, this Get Up You Novice will unlock another skill that will increase your fire, earth, thunder, and water limit by 30%. So this is good when you want to use other elements beside earth element. And this skill also fill your limit burst gauge to full. His limit burst need you to gather 50 limit burst crystals. So yes, that's a lot. That's why they give you this skill. But if you use that rotation, that means you need 2 turns to set up your limit burst. Okay, so that's quite annoying, I must say. And on the very first battle, you need like 4 turns before able to set up everything. So that's kind of annoying, right? And this limit burst is quite special because it grants your party 70% damage mitigation. So this is really new on this game, but do not need to worry, okay? Because there will be another character that able to give you this type of mitigation, and that is Neo Vision Awakened Patrick's. And from what I know, she is a free unit later on Final Fantasy 9 banner. Like usual, okay, they give us free 5 stars to NVA unit. Very nice. So you don't need to force yourself to get Elric Brothers. Okay, and yes, that's enough for the normal form. Now let's talk about Brave Shift form. So for Brave Shift form, he can still use his take chaining move, so it's okay, you don't need to worry if you use him as a soul chainer on your party. And for Stardust Ray Chain, wow, it is another good thing because it is non-elemental. So yes, you can use it with any element, very nice. And it deals 100 times damage. So based on what I know, it is the most powerful Stardust Ray Chain on this game at this point, okay? Because most characters only get like 72 times, but this Stardust Rain deal 100 times. And remember, this is backload chain, 20 times damage on the first 9 hits, and for the last hit it deals 80 times damage. So yes, it is nice. And for Imperil, it only Imperil Thunder, and sure, he able to imbue all allies with fire or water or thunder or earth element, and 15% damage with only minus 50% fire or water or thunder or earth resist to himself. Okay, so 50%, it's quite huge, okay, especially if the enemy have like uncoverable elemental attack. This can make him die. But if you fight something like that, then maybe it's good idea to bring, let's say, like Urisa to the battle. But again, that means Urisa gonna be dead because he takes that minus 50% because it is still in peril. Okay, and yeah, for the unlock ability, you unlock on normal Grandis ability, you can still use it on the Brave Shift form. So you don't need to worry about switching back between normal and Brave Shift form, but you don't need to worry if you need to do that because he is true Brave Shift character, which means they don't have cooldown when they switch between normal and Brave Shift form. Okay, so that's very nice. But yes, the main reason for you on this Brave Shift form is to use his limit burst, because I can say this is his most powerful attack. It is finisher. It is only 2 hits, but you don't need to worry because it has really close animation, so it is easy to use it as a finishing move. And let's say you're able to max the damage, 500% limit burst damage, 300% from passive, and 200% from your Get Up Novice from self buff. Okay, so with this you can deal like 870 times damage modifier. So that's really nice, that's huge. But remember, we already have Ardyn and Noctis, and yes, you have seen that Ardyn and Noctis can deal double damage compared to this Edward Elric. So really guys, if you search for top tier damage, Edward Elric is not the one you should pull, okay? Ardyn and Noctis is still better. Even with, let's say, elemental damage modifier, the earth damage 50%, he only deal like 1,300, 1,200. So still below our top tier Dragoon, Noctis and Ardyn. So this is the reason why I say don't pull Edward Elric if you already have Ardyn and Noctis. Okay, but that's just based on damage modifier, because like you know that Edward Elric get that 600 static attack. But again, I can say Ardyn and Noctis can equip Ultima Blade, which is also insane and can give their attack boost higher than this Elric brothers. And like you can see that the setup is quite complicated, okay? On the first turn, you need to use Soul Transmutation, Earth Spear Transmutation, and focus on surviving. Actually, for focus on surviving, you can use another ability, okay? If you don't need that area effect defense. And on the second turn, finally, you can Brave Shift. You can use Get Up, You Novice, and use Equivalent Exchange Earth to imbue yourself and other with Earth element. But if you already equip Earth elemental weapon, then you don't need to use this, okay? But again, it is not a big difference, because the point here is you will use your Get Up, You Novice, okay? And on the third turn, assuming you already gather your limit burst crystals to 50, you can use your limit burst immediately. But if you don't have enough limit burst crystals, then use this spike you lose to fill your limit burst gauge to full. But again, remember that Elric brothers have 8 limit burst crystals regen per turn. So if you're able to max it, let's say become 12 regen, within 2 turns he able to gather 24 limit burst crystals, which means you only need to gather 26 limit burst crystals. Yeah, 26 more limit burst crystals. So it is not that hard. So that's all for Edward Elric Brave Shift form. Now let's talk about equipment. So for equipment, it is pretty easy, okay? On normal form, you want to focus on limit burst fill rate and regen, of course, after you have maxed your attack and true dual wield stats. This is especially important if you want to spam his damage mitigation. But again, it's very hard, okay, to choose. If you want to make him into your DPS, then it is highly, you probably cannot use him as a support, because yes, once you use your finishing ability, you probably want to use it again. So if you use his normal limit burst, that already delay your damage, so it's kind of complicated in my opinion, okay? And I can say that Earth Element weapon will kind of shorten your rotation, because you don't need to imbue yourself with Earth Element. But again, if you need that Earth imbue for other, then you can do so. Okay, so that's all for equipment, really easy. Now, my conclusion for Elric brothers. So I must say that he is really nice character, okay? Probably he is one of the best damage dealer on the game if Noctis and Ardyn are not available. Because really guys, let me repeat it one more time, if you only search for DPS characters and you already have Noctis or Ardyn, do not pull Elric brothers. The reason for you to pull Elric brothers is to search for a character that able to support your party and able to deal nice damage at the same time. Okay, I know they are not contradict each other, okay, because let's say you can use this Edward Elric with Arden and Noctis, okay. You can, yes, basically you can use his tech chain on normal form to support Arden and Noctis damage, jump damage. But the problem for you, if you want to use him as your damage dealer, is, yeah, the long term. If you remember that Noctis and Arden jump only have 1 turn delay. After they land their attack, on the next turn, they can simply jump. But for this Elric brothers, I don't think you can do this limit burst every other turn. Especially if you also use them as a support character for that 70% damage mitigation. Okay, that's his weakness. I can say that the rotation is quite long, unless of course you're able to have like high faster LBV rate, and then on the battle you also need faster LBV rate buff, so that will make him able to use his limit burst really frequently. But again, if you're able to use his limit burst every turn, maybe you have some godly setup like 200% limit burst fill rate on the battle, and then 12 limit burst crystal regen per turn, then yeah, you can spam this limit burst every turn. Then I can say he can catch up on overall jump damage. But again, for burst damage, you cannot do that. Okay, and yes, this Elric brothers, I can say that maybe he is not that good character for Dark Vision, because like you have seen that he need long turn for Arden and Noctis. Sure, it is not on the first turn, but on the second turn they able to deal massive damage. But for this, unless you're able to feel his limit burst on the second turn, I don't think he is that good on Dark Vision. And for the Trustmaster and STMR, they are good. For the Trustmaster reward, 75% Demon Killer. Like you know that killers are really important on today, so 75%, very nice. For physical attackers, for the STMR, it is also very good, because it grants you defensive and offensive attribute at the same time. So this can be used for your Edward Elric or your tankers, AoE magic cover. Okay, for the effect, A Tale of Two Brothers, it is also really important for Elric brothers because their abilities use lots of MP. Okay, so if you get Elric brothers, I really recommend you to equip this to reduce your MP consumption. And for vision card, I must say this vision card is good but not a must-have. The attack boost is very nice, 60%, works with all weapon, but again the boost is kind of small. We get like 100%, 80% boost for vision card, but this one only 60%. I know it is not restricted to weapon, but since we already have mainstream weapon like sword, fist, then I don't think this is really that important. Okay, and the attack boost for raw points is kind of low, only 100. Remember that for Arden and Noctis they give like 110. Okay, so that's quite difference if you factor another attack boost from your abilities. Okay, so I think that's all you need to know about Elric brothers. Remember, you don't need to have him. I don't think he is a must-have. I mean, I don't think they are a must-have characters. So save your lapis if you can. Save for Final Fantasy VII. Okay, I believe that will be the next big damage jump, and I hope you have resources when that time comes. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more Final Fantasy Private Experience Guide. Bye bye guys.